Welcome to an introduction to accounting and to our second podcast on an introduction to spreadsheets. In this one we're going to show you a few simple operations. So we have here some sales figures. These are the projected figures and these are the actual sales figures. We need the date, so I'm just going to select this cell here and indicate which these were for, and these were for a series of months. We're not going to put the full date in, but note, here's a nice little trick here. We've typed in JAN for January. You can see it's a little box with another little black box at the bottom, and if I can just get on there we are, and hold the left button down. As I pull down, can you see it's pulling in January, February, March, April, May, June. In other words, it's doing what we call an autofill. So just click off that. So that's a very useful thing to remember. It saves a lot of time and a lot of typing. You can use autofill with certain numbers. You can certainly use it with text like months, days of the week, and so on. Now we want to get some totals, so I'm going to put in totals here, and here I need a formula. So I'm going to type in the equals sign, and if I want to add all of those figures up, it's going to be the sum of them. So I'm now going to say, okay, that's my sum, and I want the range in. So you note I put this first part in parentheses, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these cells, and it's going to fill in the range automatically. There we are, and that is the sum of all those cells. So I have our total projected sales. Now I don't have to type the formula in again, because I've selected the box that's got that formula in, and this is for column D. Now you can see that little black box at the end. Again, I'm going to move the cursor over, select it, and then just pull it across. And note that now if I look at the formula that I've got in, I've selected the same range in column E, so it's done that automatically for me. So that's a useful way of doing a calculation, and then of extending the same calculation across different columns, or it could have been across different rows. That's the sum one then for addition. Now suppose I want to look at the difference between two. If I put the equals sign in again, because basically it is a formula, and I'm going to take the projected one, which is that one, and the budget one, sorry, the actual one, which is that one. So I'll click on that, and if I enter that, it says that the difference there is 2. Our projected sales are above our actual sales. Now we have to, this is where we have to look at loud. Are we really interested in projecting it like that? I don't think we are, so I'm going to take that out again, and what I'm going to say is I'm going to delete that. I'm going to say that what I'm interested in is the actual sales as compared to the budget, and this shows a much better result because it shows I got a shortfall of 220 on the budget. So what happens if I want to do it for each of those rows? Well, I can use the same trick. I can move to this bottom corner here, drag that down, and there we are. I've got the sales difference for all of the months now, and I can use the same trick again. I can drag that over for the total, and so overall my sales have shown an increase, but only of 292, and I can see that they were doing quite fine for the first 1, 2, 3, 4 months, right? Slight shortfall, then we were doing much better. We got a surplus, then a bigger surplus, then that surplus started dropping, and finally there was a disastrous month in June. So we can use that then to show our analysis of sales figures. I've labeled this sheet sales. What I also want to do at the end of it is I'm going to take the file, go to File, and go to Save As. Now Save As means, okay, I can now put it where I want on my computer. So I'm going to put it on the desktop, and I'm going to call this an intro to spreadsheets, and I'm going to save that then. And that was our sales analysis then for an introduction to spreadsheets, our first very easy one to look at. I can also do something else here. If I select all of these and then format these cells, what I'm going to do is use a border, and so I'm going to put a border around each of these cells. Okay, so we can now see that we've got a border around. Now the purpose of that border is I might want to print, so if I go up to File and down to Print, now I'm not actually going to print it out, but what I am going to show you is this is the print area. Now if I had not put the border around, those cells would not have shown in that way. So using a border around each cell makes it much easier when you are printing. So I will just press Escape to go back, and then I'm going to do File, and all I need to this time is Save, because it already knows where it is, right? So that's our second little introduction to spreadsheets. Thank you.